in there. What's going on?
It's an ancient love story. It was actually born the first time around. I was so sad because I adore Ian, as does everyone here, but I hardly got to do anything with him at all.
Why?
I mean, anything at all. And not because in the first story it was glancing.
Oh, you mean in the first one? Of course, you don't.
Yeah, the first time around, backwards. And so it was so special. And also having worked with Hugo so intensely on stage over the last 10 years, to sort of 10 years later to go back and then, all the core story, of course Galadriel's just a footnote in the Hobbit really, to have such a beautiful, loving relationship of understanding.
Did you wear any of the original costumes? Did they bring any of the
I thought
costumes?
you said, did I wear underwear? Yeah. No, but
Elves don't wear underwear.
Didn't have. My boys were horrified because they weren't born the first time around to see the figurines and that elves didn't in fact wear underwear. So I didn't. But that wasn't what you were going to wear. That was a bit too much sharing then. I think Ian did wear underwear.
I think you buried the lead on that story. No, did you wear any of the original costumes from the first 3 movies in the Hobbit movie?
No, it was all, well, I think the crown was the same. But it was all kind of rebooted and revamped, but of a theme. I wasn't wearing trousers.
Did we use any original costume? Elijah, did you
I don't think it was an actual original. I think it was a remake.
I mean, we tend to keep the original costumes. They're sort of sacred now, so we kind of don't get sweat in them again. We're hoping to do a museum one day where we can have all this stuff on display. So we didn't really want to trash the Lord of the Rings stuff for the Hobbit generally. So we tended to make new stuff.
I did have my wig. My wig was the same.
Yeah, my wig was the
really?
same.
My wig was the same. Yeah, we had 2 wigs from Lord of the Rings, and
But were your ears different? My ears. Well, your ears continued to grow. You had the same ears.
Well, they had to re.
Wait a second. Your ears didn't fit anymore?
No, he was growing his ears to try and get them to be half as beautiful as Tariel's big pointy ears.
We have an ear thing. Sorry, Tariel was obsessed with big pointy ears, and I was like, I think they should be a little subtler than that, honey. But she was like, no, I'm going all the way on this ear.
I know how sexy a big pointy ear can be.
They were a bit more aerodynamic.
This time around?
Yeah.
I felt.
Yeah.
But you can only say that in retrospect. I mean,
Peter, speaking of saving things from the Lord of the Rings, one of the things that people may not know is that you've got these huge warehouses in Wellington with all the old
stuff. Well, they know now, don't they?
Sorry.
Our secret warehouses, yes. No, that's right.
Yeah, it was just one of the greatest experiences of my life was to walk through.
The Misty Mountains.
Yes, Misty Mountains, go to Minas Tirith, to stand in front of Tower over Minas Tirith or Rivendell, or to actually take a quick look, to really take a look at what you had at the Grey Havens. Because in the movie, you don't get to see any of the mountains.
No, the Grey Havens is a beautiful miniature. It's a beautiful miniature. As you say, it was never really seen. So.
Yeah, it's an incredible.
Beautiful, yeah. Well, we've got it all, we've kept it all, and so, we've kept it all for a reason. I want to try to let people see it one day, so more than just you. I mean, it was nice having you there, Stephen, but it'd be nice to have these folk there as well.
One thing that you don't see in the movie, I don't know whether you took it out digitally, but when I went and looked at Grond, when you have Grond, it's like the 12-foot long version of Grond there, the warhammer that knocks down the gates of Minas Tirith, is that it's a wolf, a ravening wolf with fire coming out of its mouth, but the prop itself has a penis. The wolf that you made. It's a penis and it's very sharp. It's kind of a terrifying image.
How do you know the wolf's penis is sharp? Did you touch it?
Yes, you did.
I'm a super fan.
I never actually realised it until you pointed it out. No, it wasn't removed. I mean, no one ever asked us to remove it in the film.
Did you remove it? No.
Must be there somewhere.
It's there.
Yeah.
Stephen, it's because of people like you running around and touching wolves' penises that Comic-Con is a scary place to be.
All right. Questions? You ready to do some fan questions?
Yeah.
Everybody out there? We've got microphones in, let's see, where are they? Right over here, where the light is. And the young woman wearing the armor of buttons. Yes.
This is the Lord of the Rings cape and Hobbit cape. Everything on here is Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. In 10 years, I expect to be back here watching clips from the Silmarillion. First things first, in dragon voice, Benedict, could you say button lady?
Button lady.
My question, that was great. My question is for a couple of the elves. We've seen that two-shot of Bard and Legolas. My question is, does Legolas teach Bard about archery, or does Bard teach Legolas about archery?
Whoa. Ooh, I like the way you go with that.
We have a bow off.
Yeah, we have a bow. You do get to kill the dragon.
Do you want the sensible answer or do you want the silly answer?
Silly answer.
I don't know. Well, did you ever...
Bob told me everything I know.
I've seen your archery skills.
The truth is, both of these guys are particularly good at archery in real life. And so they're both sort of quietly, I think, thinking, how do I tell them I'm really good? That this guy's okay, but I'm really good.
Yes.
He's got longer arrows and a bigger bow, but not quite as good a shot.
Is that a metaphor?
Sorry.
Oh, my arrows are sharp. Very long.
A bit like that wolf's penis.
Yeah, buddy, your question.
Firstly, to Mr. Jackson and to everyone involved in these, thank you very much for bringing these super epic movies. My question, my children, Logan and Olivia, wanted me to ask this to Mr. Lee, but he's not here, but perhaps the cast could answer. Who do you think is more evil, Saruman or Mr. Wonka from the Willy Wonka movies?
Willy Wonka is not evil.
No.
Willy Wonka is a master.
No, Mr. Wonka, the gentleman who kept his son in that races and let him leave the house at age 10 and...
You got it there, bro. Don't often see that.
I'll pass that question on to Chris Lee when I talk to him next.
The young goddess.
Hi. I'm a huge fan of Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and I'm also very interested in the technical aspects of acting. So I was wondering to all the actors on the panel if you had any specific technical techniques that you used in order to get into character, especially considering that sometimes you don't actually have an actor to play off of.
Andy Serkis has been voted the answer of that question.
Well, you know, the fact of the matter is that although there's technology involved in the way of creating characters, I can only speak from my point of view, of characters like Gollum, really, what it is exactly the same. All you need is the eyes of another actor to look into, and that's it. You know, people attach this whole kind of mystery to performance capture. Really, the magic is having brilliant actors together in a room or on a set or in an environment and being able to play off each other and not let the technology become a part of it. That really is the key. So it's about, you know, embodying the character as you would in a very normal way, despite the fact you're only wearing a spandex suit. You know, any of that stuff is just about, you know, losing the ability to lose yourself in a world, to lose yourself in a character, to bury yourself in a part so deep that you believe that you're that person or whatever. I mean, the technical aspects are challenging in movies like this. There's no question, but But I don't think anybody on this stage really would let that get in the way of what it's really about. And I think that's the key.
Well, it's like layers of imagination. We've got Tolkien's imagination, and then our imagination comes in, and then the CGI comes on top of that, and it's like all of these kind of beautiful collaborations, you know, one on top of each other. But if everyone's imagination is kind of alive, I think the movie gets cool. You know?
I think it also must be said that, I mean, Benedict's talking about working to a tennis ball or green screen. Certainly in the first movies, I had no idea how to play an elf. And unlike any director I think I've ever worked with, Peter and also Philippa and Fran, before every scene, would absolutely, as if this was a piece of naturalism, describe what had happened before. They'd show you pictures, drawings, things, plates they'd already shot of what you were looking at, the atmosphere that you were in. So even though there were fans going and wind blowing and people covered in dots and half prosthetics, you were completely invited into the given circumstances of the world as if, you know, you were doing Chekhov, kind of, with prosthetic ears and boots.
Yes.
Hello. This question's to Lee, Andy, Benedict, and maybe the rest of the cast. If you had to take the characters that you played to attend Comic-Con, where would you take them and why?
Hall H. I don't think I'd fit in anywhere else. Be a bit of a squeeze.
I don't know, I'd ride my elk right up that aisle right there. Oh, I left it in New Zealand. I don't have it with me.
Let's move on to the next question.
I asked Andy as well, so.
Well, I don't know where I'd go, but Gollum would probably go. Well, why don't we ask him and see where he'd go?
Well, my secret dream. Precious. Yes, what is it? What? I would quite like to go backstage with Stephen Colbert and see what he's got inside his costume, Precious. Yes.